Hello.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi, Ella.
How are you
How's life?
doing? Good. How are things with you?
Very good.
It's like you're in a different country to me.
No, I've been in
Freezing.
Galicia all weekend.
Oh, I've really got cold today. I don't know. So I've got my warm.
Um, I felt cold yesterday. I was skiing
Oh,
yesterday.
nice.
Yeah. But today, oh, my flat is warm and sunny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess I'm in a different country to you.
maybe mentally. Very good. So how has your week run through this?
Yeah. So it started out like predictable and just steady and slow, but then ended up fun and exciting and a little different. And
Yeah.
yours?
So my week also, well, started off Monday. I really had the wobbles, a little bit like you had the week before. Was it only just the week before?
Or whatever from the
Yeah.
beginning. I think a
I
few weeks ago.
I woke up on Monday not feeling good at all. So having to
Oh.
do a lot of work. I did a lot of journaling this week, a lot of deep imaginings, just really trying to dig deep into what was coming up.
Hmm.
And it was funny because on Monday it was my daughter's birthday.
Right.
I'd made a cake the Friday before and it was delicious. So I was like, well, I
Hmm.
can repeat that, no problem.
Hmm.
I spent a fortune on ingredients, which was fine, for it to be an absolute disaster
Oh
twice.
no.
I tried to make it
Twice.
twice.
What happened?
Everything happened. It just all went wrong. It doesn't
So,
matter. I don't know the fact that it happened
hmm.
was enough for me to recognize that I was just like, I went into a really negative sort of mindset towards myself and just a bit of a
Hmm.
spiral down of
Yeah.
how frustrating, just. And so that was then the rest of the week really lifting myself back out of that, even though it
Right.
was just a cake. I mean, we had the cake. It wasn't like such, it was a disaster, but Ellie said she
It
liked
was the whole
it.
mental verbiage
Yeah,
going on that
yeah.
created the downward spiral.
And it just became that evening. Why did I do that? Why did I do why did I like just the whole script that I would have done in the past. And I think it
Hmm.
was just a sign of there's still work to do. Come on, you've got to get yourself out of it. And
So that's your take. That's the work of when you do fall down, how to get back up.
yeah. And so I did spend time doing what is it that I want to be doing. I mean, the cake, it wasn't the fact of the cake, it was then everything
Yeah.
else around it.
Yeah.
And so I've been wondering where I'm at and what is my plan and my purpose and my goals, and just really trying to build myself up again. And so
Okay.
I felt like I really progressed this week because I went on that journey of downward to upward, not instantly,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily needing it to be quickly fixed either,
Hmm.
to the point where those cakes sat on the worktop too many days. I almost should have just like thrown them away
Okay.
immediately
The
and pretend.
reminder, daily reminder.
Yeah.
Allow your cakes need improvement.
So it was like, oh, I'm gonna like just having them there, work
Hmm.
through it all. And so I've been looking a little bit at the stars and astrology and all of that, not to be sharing any of it because I don't know enough to be able to
Yeah.
share. But I felt like I needed tools and resources and to be able to help lift me out of
Uh-huh.
to get me back on a direction that I feel like I need to be really making more movement towards.
Hmm.
So I've put myself out there a little bit more on Instagram. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I've been working on my website. I've really built up a really strong resources page, lots of free things there, my meditations, and lots of stuff for people just to go and take.
And I saw that you offered a free program for a month. Somebody booked it, or lots of people booked it, or tell
Yeah,
me.
this is, well, I think I got real clarity on
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like for me to mentor people,
Mm-hmm.
because I had been getting these pings of other conversations, and it was so funny. Like the more I was like really honing into where am I going, what's my path, show me a sign or give me some
Yeah.
feedback, I was getting the podcasts were almost specifically aimed at me, and
Of
that
course.
period in my Insta feed was aimed at me, and so I listened to one of these lovely podcasters, Liz Zamorski, who is the Femme Genius, who I've been working
Yeah.
with for quite some time with the tarot. And
Mm-hmm.
her podcast really resonated. I really suggest anyone go listen. She just talks to herself, basically, into her phone as she walks in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
This one was a lot of personal reminder of what her journey looks like as a business owner and how she wants to be authentic in that story, and what
Okay.
had happened over the last year to change that, and how she lost a bit of that along
Mm-hmm.
building a business. And that was always one of my biggest fears, is being overwhelmed by something that I want to bring me
Right.
joy. I want to work in joyful service. How do I create that without getting washed over by it and it becoming daunting or something I can't maintain?
Uh-huh. Right.
So her podcast was like basically the permission slip to continue to make
Go
it
for it.
whatever you
Yeah.
want it to be. And
Hmm.
so I was able to then speak quite clearly to what it is I'm looking for. And it is really bespoke mentoring. So right now, one person only at a time, because I'm there.
That's the way to prevent the overwhelm.
And it's a way to really embrace that love and connection to that one person,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
one size fits all coaching tool that I'm
No.
offering. It's in the moment, adapting, channeling, intuitively guiding somebody to become
Cool.
more present in themselves and to
Mm-hmm.
become um, more authentic, and what that might look like for them. So if they want to wake up at 7 a.m. and do meditation practice with me every day, then that's what I'll be there for them to do. If
Nice.
they if we need to connect and have a one-to-one human design class session for them to get a bigger understanding of who they are, then I'm not scheduling it around too many other things or other people right now.
Right.
So alongside my commitments, I'm embracing this person almost like a little yeah,
Container.
container, but as a mother figure as well.
Nurturing. I like that.
Nurturing, like I see a
Yeah.
nest of
Yeah.
support.
I
And
like
so
that.
that felt really good. And I feel like the length of a month is well, in theory it's 6 weeks, but the month is an intensive month. And then the following 2 weeks are like where you expand and give them space and let them integrate it on their own,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm
I
really
like
happy
it.
that is in motion. Uh,
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see and hear how that all plays out.
so
Um,
yeah, me too. So this person, obviously, they're working alongside me as I grow in this way. I've done coaching before, but it's been a little bit more. We'll check in a week's time, or we'll check
mhm.
in 2 weeks' time. This is how you do it. Off you go. But
Yeah.
now it's more of a let's do it together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
So
nice. Well, of course,
obviously,
this week I had a moment that I was like, oh, here's my Ella moment. Um, Last week I had that dreadful email that I said, ease and flow, ease and flow. It'll just magically work out. And then, well, that was 2 weeks ago. Last week or this week, whatever we want to call it, that email came back to bite me. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't magically solved. And because of your story, I was like, okay, to be expected. I knew this could happen. Um, but so my take on this, I still haven't really dealt with it yet because, like, I know I can. I just need to sit down and do it. But I had like a couple of different takes. Like, okay, so first time it disappeared to show me that like ease and flow is possible. I can ask for it and I can get it. And then all of the other things that followed have still worked out. I've still taken action towards. But this one is really kind of simple. And so I do think that my 2.0 self can do this. So
Yeah,
I think it's like the universe saying, okay, here you go. Now you do it because you're totally capable of doing it.
exactly.
Right?
Because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily, oh, ease and flow, it disappears, it goes away, and everything's fine. It's like we can
No,
actually step, sometimes things are hard, and we need it to be hard
if
for us
we
to
are
be able
never
to
doing
step
anything
up.
hard, we
Yeah.
become weak and like just die, you know?
Well, that's
Like,
kind of
yeah.
where I was feeling about myself at the beginning of the week. Am I strong enough to own it?
Mhm.
Do I have the capabilities to step into this thing that I'm really wanting to build and create?
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean it's always going to be ease and flow either. It's like
No, and yeah,
we have to breathe and jump or climb or struggle or push or get
all of the
support to
things.
help us over
Yes.
the hump for it then to
Yes.
flow with ease and flow.
And this poem came to mind. My grandparents had it framed on their wall, and so I always liked it. And you probably know it. Footprints in the Sand. Do you know that poem? It's kind of a religious poem. It's about
Mm.
like walking with God or walking with the Lord or the Creator. You know it, right? Like sometimes
No,
there's just
not
one
that I
set of
would
footprints in
remember
the
it.
sand, and sometimes there's two. And so it's like a conversation between man and God, and man says to God, like, looking at this, you said you would always be by my side. Why do I only see one set of footprints when I'm like struggling the most? And he said, well, I was carrying you.
Ah,
So, yeah,
love
that
that.
like almost makes me cry, but
Yeah, how beautiful. No, I haven't heard that before.
I am crying. What's wrong with
Let yourself cry. How special. And I feel like I've actually needed to be carried this week as well. And that's why
Hmm.
this week I was felt really sad, almost heartbroken, because one of my membership things with To Be Magnetic came to an end. And all I
Oh,
had to do was like update it and purchase it again. Not
did you?
difficult. But it was like, oh, Ella, I feel so bad. Like, am I
Hmm.
working? Like, do I do this thing? And I was like, I really need support. I really
Hmm.
need to feel like I have a team behind me who are showing me
Hmm.
the way, almost
Yeah.
carrying me through it. I feel like I'm
Hmm.
almost on the brink, almost there, but I'm not there yet. I need
Hmm.
help. And so, yeah, I did
Yeah.
purchase it again.
Good. No, and so I guess that poem is just symbolic of we always have help. Like
Yeah,
if the universe is on our side. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes
yeah.
the universe is just by our side, maybe, or that's the difficult part when the universe is just by our side. And then when easy,
Well,
difficult, I'm
it's the
confused. When it's
difficult
too
part.
difficult,
You
yeah,
lose trust and faith that that is what's happening.
yeah,
And I feel like I did lose a little bit of trust in the certainty that I had, because I
yeah.
very much get filled with optimism and sparkly joy at the idea of something new. And then when
Hmm.
it comes to the hard thing, the difficult thing to keep following through,
Yeah.
that's when I start to feel like, yeah, I'm not being held anymore. This is all up to me. And it's not true. It's
Hmm.
just that I lose a little bit of perspective about whether I am being supported or not, because there's no
Right.
evidence of it. But the
And
evidence,
it's probably when you're growing the most because you're doing the work
yeah,
and pushing through the hard stuff.
yeah. So funny
Yeah.
thing, what something that I did this week with what should we call it? Yeah, one of the groups that I'm working with, an astrology group. I did a session last week with the manifesting money on the new moon. This one was on the new moon, and we did a tarot card deck reading, which was really lovely. And then we had to open a book, a bibliomancy.
Oh, nice.
And the bibliomancy was about what the word of the year was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I opened this book here, my favorite, The Writings
Oh, I
of
love that book.
Florence
Yeah.
Scovel Shinn. Of course I know.
Yeah.
So I had it here and I opened it, and it has some pages that are blank because of the way the chapters fall, or like
Okay.
very little text in them at all. But I waited for her to give me an explanation of what we needed to do. And I opened the page. And of course, it said, your word is God in action.
Oh,
Okay. So almost like being carried. But
yeah.
so God in action is your word. So my word
Mm-hmm.
is my word, which means God in action. Do you understand that
I
concept?
just, what I'm getting from this is like your words are power, and everything you say is created. We create through word.
Exactly.
Mm.
So I am now living in that sense of, okay, be careful with my words, which I try and do anyway. But the
Mm-hmm.
word of the year is the word,
The word.
which is God in action. So if it's certainty, whatever it is I'm putting out there to be,
Mm-hmm.
it's in motion, even beyond us being able to see it.
Mm-hmm. I've been paying attention to how I say things and what I say as well, because I know it can affect so much.
And that's kind of what happened in my spiral of the cake, which has nothing to do with my progress chart or whatever it is I'm working
Yeah.
towards. But the self-esteem aspect of making a flop and repeating the
Yeah.
flop and not being like successful in that one thing was
Mm-hmm.
powerful enough to then make me not feel like getting up and not feel like doing anything, like going into old habits of low self-worth.
Right.
And so
So
it was
keep
all
going.
about just keeping myself up there
Mm-hmm.
in a little small, like little steps of habit that I was able to maintain to keep myself not falling too low, not coming down.
Yeah. Yeah. And were you able to like go back and like rewrite that script of making it, just give it new meaning? Like, why did it go wrong? Or
I just
just
was
give it
very much,
a new spin.
I just decided it's okay to make mistakes. And I was
Yeah.
living by the song that the girls and I have on repeat, letting go. And I'm
Okay.
learning how to let go. And it's okay
Yeah.
to make mistakes. And so I was like around the kitchen shouting out, "Make mistakes, make mistakes," like really singing that song. Because it's like,
I
I'm,
Yeah, music was my medicine this week too. Um, I can't remember which day it was, but one day you had taught me this. You said you're supposed to open Spotify and go to the For You playlist, put it on shuffle, and you'll get a message from your guardian angel or something.
is
So
that
I don't know why I thought
spotiomancy?
it's audiomancy. Exactly. So I don't know why that came to mind one day, but I was like, let's just see what my message is for today. And I put it on, and first of all, like the lyrics did not resonate at all. The genre did not resonate at all. I was like, why is this message for me? I don't get it. But the flow, like the rhythm, really resonated. It reminded me of my inside flow yoga
Yeah.
classes. So then I just started like flowing. I created a little choreography on the spot in the kitchen, and it felt so good. And then it became me going to my go-to Spotify list and like dance party in the kitchen for the next 20 minutes. So
We
yeah,
got
it was
such
good.
parallel lives living. And really, yeah, just letting it. be. Like, oh, moving on. Come on, we're moving on now and not
Yeah.
festering in it, you know?
And then there were a couple other messages that, okay. So last week, you know how I was getting like those roomy quotes and loving?
Mm.
I got a quote that I kind of ignored because I was like, nah, that's not for me. It was something about like, don't accept half love. And I was like, yeah, not for me. And then this week, I
But
got another
sorry,
one.
don't accept half love and it's not for you. So you're
I know.
accepting half
I
love?
didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear that. I was like, no,
It
not
was
for me.
confirming. It was confirming to you. You're not going to accept half love.
But I was like, you don't need to tell me that, universe. There's no half love in my life.
I'm
So,
above that.
yeah. And then this week, I got one about like, you're too full of joy for half love. And I was like, what is this about half love again? Or too full of life for half love. And I was like, okay, half love twice. Why am I getting this half love thing? And so I took it. I mean, how do you take the half love thing?
I think I take it as it's not everything. It's not the whole of the
It's a
kind of
breadcrumb.
love.
And I'm like, that's delicious. I love breadcrumbs.
Oh, I take it like a bridge, or it's just a bit of the way there.
Oh, like more is coming. Like, don't just settle for this. You can get
Yeah,
more.
that's how I take it.
Yeah, I get that too. But I'm also feeling like this marshmallow test vibe. You know, the marshmallow test?
Oh yeah. I did it with um
Eileen.
yeah, I did it with Megan Ellen with like bread
With
pieces.
breadcrumbs.
Not quite crumbs, but what do you call those? Breadsticks, like literally. It was hilarious.
Okay.
I've got it on video.
Yeah. So here's me in this situation. I'm thinking, like, I'm giving my half love, my marshmallow, and the universe is like, if you just wait, you can have the whole bag.
This is it.
But here's me when I'm looking at that half marshmallow or half love thing. I'm like, oh, that's cute marshmallow. It looks really good. I like marshmallows. How long do I have to wait for that whole bag? What if I die before I get the whole bag? I think I better just eat that marshmallow, like bird in hand.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
what
know how I
happened?
feel about this.
Well, that for me, because I am into the to be magnetic way of living, is very much a test. And so
Hmm.
if you know that it's a half a piece, but that's all you're worthy of, so you better take it, or that's all you have a right to, or that's all you can achieve, you better take it. It's almost like you are that close to the whole one. You don't know how long it's going to take. It could be within seconds that the
Hmm.
whole marshmallow drops on your plate. But because you took the half one, you will never know because now you are back to waiting for the
I
half
know,
marshmallow
but
to
I'm
show
sitting
up
there
again.
thinking, what if like there's nothing? I'd rather just eat
But that's what
something.
faith is. But that's what
Yeah.
faith is knowing this is a message that I'm a breadcrumb away. Like I am on the path. Thank you for showing me evidence in front of me, but it's still not quite right. Still not complete.
Yeah, I'm still having a hard time accepting that the message is actually for me anyways.
Well, to be coming and harring over it, I think that you have decided that you'll try and find a message in it.
Yeah.
So now you have to wait again for the next half marshmallow to not eat that marshmallow.
But
So
I like marshmallows.
the full one can come over, or even the entire bag, not even
Yeah.
just one. All the loves. Oh, funny.
Yeah.
So, my synchronicity this week was as I was in the dog park listening to this podcast of my friend speaking. I look up and I see this most beautiful bird that I've never seen in that park, never mind around. And I really noticed its wings. And she talked about, in that moment, the wings
Hmm.
of the bird open up and they take flight.
Oh.
And it brought me to a song, she said. And the song was called Wings by this whoever. And
Oh.
listened to the lyrics, and that's what led me to her formulating her new business goal. So she sent me lyrics for that song as well that has been sitting.
Yeah.
So for my February on repeat playlist, it will be this song. But
Nice.
so in the moment, like the fact that she had spoke at that podcast a few days ago, I don't know when it was, and I happened to listen at that moment in time and look up and see the bird. That's how I
Yeah.
knew that was speaking to me directly, that podcast.
Yeah.
So funny
Cool.
synchronicities
I love
have been
that.
coming up.
Yeah. And then so on Wednesday evening, I was speaking to a friend and I said, I just really need to plan another trip. And then Thursday, like a trip was suggested, skiing was suggested to me. So I was like, okay, trip is happening.
Beautiful.
I know. And then we took some pictures yesterday skiing, and I feel like one of those pictures could be placed on my vision board. Like it just
Oh,
fits in. And I
yay.
think I've heard from somebody to do that, like replace vision board pictures with real life pictures
Oh,
of like
definitely.
it coming
Because
true, it
that,
happening.
that is one of the big things they do say about vision boards not necessarily working for everybody, is that when you're told to cut things out of magazines or get things from Pinterest, and you don't
Mm.
vibrationally resonate with that image necessarily.
Yeah.
So to keep
And
finding moments in time of your life where you were in that same kind of moment and you can
yeah.
go back to the feeling, that's the goal for your vision board. So,
Yeah. Well, and so like this photo is more like evidence of it happening. It's like I had a
mm,
picture of what I wanted to happen, and now it's like taking off that wanting and like, here it is, I did it.
yeah,
Almost like a photo album instead of,
yeah.
yeah,
And
I don't
but
know.
and to leave it there if you want more of those moments too. Like it's not just
More,
the
yeah. And
one
like just to
moment.
keep replacing the other ones on my board of like, now this one happened. Now this one
Yeah.
happened. Hmm.
Beautiful. How fun.
Yeah, it was good.
So I've ended the week feeling like high and happy and back on sort of track, as it were. You feel the
Hmm.
same?
Yeah, I feel good.
That's great news. And so for the coming week, I'm still practicing certainty, which I feel like I lost a bit this week. I did
Yeah.
start having some worries coming up and questioning a little bit. We're moving forward with some stuff that requires big choices and decisions. And so I really need to sit in certainty around those things
Yeah.
happening
Yeah.
and really taking action, which is what the Mindfully Ella mentoring work is about.
Yeah.
And
Well,
just
you've started. You got the
taking,
ball rolling there.
yeah. And then, so yeah, I'm looking forward to February being a space where I'm honing my skills more than anything and committing to the professional side of what I want to create.
Good.
Yeah.
I really don't have any new goals for February. Um, so I feel like it's just continuing with the same routine, the same
Yeah.
practices, and just getting better at correcting those downward spirals, bringing them back, and staying like in balance or upward spiral.
Mm, mm. Because I have a lot coming up in March. So
Hmm.
I feel like February for me, there's nothing. It's like a steady month of no coming and goings
Hmm.
in travel or things booked or plans.
Right.
So I feel like I've got space there to really hunker down and yeah, become more disciplined with regard to my what I want to create.
Yeah. That just reminded me. So I have been having these feelings of, you know how you also said last week, I've made it, I'm there type thing. And I kind of had like these feelings of I've made it. I'm there I'm embodying the 2.0
Yeah.
me, my upgrade. So I guess that's what I want to do, like connect to her as
Connect
much as possible. Yeah.
in those moments of just noticing, wow, I can
Hmm.
feel that moment of what I'm,
Yeah.
yeah, it's no longer about future goals. It's like, well, here we are, here we are.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
so just for that, you just need presence. You need to be totally aware of what's going on in the moment.
Totally aware and also aware of like the ability of you can do, like, okay, you messed up the cake, but you can make a good cake, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to wait a while. I'm not going to try and fix that either. I can let
Not
that
even
go.
fix it, just know you can make a good cake.
Oh, well, I did. Yeah, I did make a good cake. It just wrong the wrong day.
Yeah.
And I show up and perform when necessary. That is what I'm to
Yeah.
challenge myself on.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what throws comes thrown at us this week. But we can take it on.
Yeah. So let's see if I have to go through that downward spiral that you went through, but I can do it. Right.
I'm sure you won't. I think you've got a really good oven. I am blaming the oven, and apparently the storm hit the electrics off, and it unknowingly to me, my oven wasn't performing because it was a really stormy day that day. And if
Okay. I'm
that
sure
is
that means
true,
something.
if that is to be true, there was absolutely no need for me to be mean to myself in the making of the cake. It was not my fault.
Well, I think that's like the lesson right there, being kind and gentle with yourself.
Yeah, I did try and we laughed. I'm okay with it, but there was a lot around it. It was a bigger deal
Hmm.
than it needed to have been. I could have
Hmm.
bought one.
No, but you make good cakes, Ella.
Anyway,
We know this.
yeah. Anyways, my future self will make some good cakes, I'm sure.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yes.
so we'll connect next week.
Sounds great.
Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.